Hello everyone, welcome to the Ichimoku.co daily market review for the trading day ending Thursday, May 22nd. Firstly to the S&P 500, and here we see a continuation of the trend to the upside today, but on an indecisive spinning top type candle. It does raise some doubt whether the market will be able to breach the major high at 1902. There is a possibility. This is an indecisive day, so it says something about the lack of strength from the buyers and the sellers. So there's no indication here at the moment that the sellers are about to take control, so we will be looking potentially for continuation of the trend. If the trend does change, then there is very solid support down below the low around 1883. You also have the 10% trading there. A bullish market in all three time frames, and that suggests that we could see continued upside. The Chica span here is confirming the bullish activity that we're seeing in all three time frames. Next to gold futures, and here once again more indecisive small body trading, and for a majority of this market over the past couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks or so, we've seen fairly small bodies, suggesting that neither the buyers nor the sellers are making a lot of net bullish nor bearish progress. It does suggest that there is a lot of indecision here in this market, and we are waiting for this market to make its mind up. Today we saw price action rejected from the strong 1300 round number resistance, but also supported at the Kijun-sen indicator around the 1291 level. This market is still technically bearish by trading down below the Ichimoku cloud, but that cloud is quite thin at the moment, will remain so for the next couple of days, and then into the end of next week it does become quite thick and will provide a very strong barrier for the buyers if they don't break out to the upside before that time. So we have a market that's really trying to make its mind up here. A breakout in either direction will probably be quite decisive and quite strong, and in line with the market trading down below the Ichimoku cloud, the most likely direction at the moment is to the downside, but we do have solid support extending all the way down to 1266. Next to NYMEX oil, and here we see an indecisive spinning top type candle at the end of a very strong uptrend, and that's following a breakout up above the important 103.39 level of resistance. There is potential for a change of trend. It's a bearish harami pattern, and we are looking for confirmation. We're looking for a lower high and lower low. Any lower low may be rejected from the 103.39 level. That may begin to act as support for this market. We know that we do have, or we can have, a change of character. Bullish market in all three time frames, trading above each of the Ichimoku indicators. So a likely scenario is that if we do see a sell-off, we find support around the 103.39 level, then see the buyers come back in. But looking at the Chica span, that does raise some doubt about that. It's not supporting the bullishness that we're seeing in all the three time frames, and suggesting that there is a possibility that this market could trade lower if we trade in a bearish manner down below 103.39. Next to wheat futures, and here we see another fairly large black body candle today. The sellers still have control of this market, not strong control. They haven't closed down towards the lows. They've closed between the midpoint level and the low, so a moderate form of control, but still an extension of the size of the black body, suggesting that the sellers still have momentum in net terms. Importantly, however, we have seen 656 holding as support for this market, and that has been an important level with this swing low in the middle of April, and the market rallied quite strongly from that area, so there is a possibility of the market rallying. If we see a breakout to the downside in a bearish manner, we could quickly see this market testing down to the bottom of the cloud and down possibly to the 636 level. Any possible rally should see strong resistance coming in around 683. We have a neutral market in big picture terms, but bearish in the medium and fast term time frames, and that bearishness is confirmed by the Chica span. Next to the US 30-year bonds, and here we see a continuation of the trend to the downside, but we've seen a candle here where these sellers have failed to take control. They lost commitment when testing down below this 136.16 level. Very strong potential support at 136, previous resistance, but we now have a bearish market just slightly in the fast term time frame, with the market closing down below there. Bullish still in the medium and fast and longer term time frames, and that's supported by the Chica span. So scenario here is that we could see the market continue to come off, but 136 should hold a strong support, seeing the buyers then come back in with this second time frame uptrend to continue back on its way. Moving next to the S&P 500 futures on the hourly chart, and here for the previous day's trading we've seen fairly strong price activity up above the Ichimoku cloud and the Kijun-sen indicator, with the Kijun-sen holding a support. One test down below the Tenkan-sen, indecisive candles below there, and then the buyers coming back in strongly and maintaining price action for the whole session, or the remainder of the session, above the Tenkan-sen. For today's trading, we've begun trading down below the Tenkan-sen, importantly, but above the Kijun-sen, so bearish activity in the short-term time frame, but maintaining that bullish activity in the medium-term time frame, finding support initially at the middle pivot point level at 1890, and that will be an important area moving forward. At the moment, we are seeing price action rejected from the Tenkan-sen, so that is a crucial area, but if this black body candle does continue to the downside, then there is potential for solid support just below the middle pivot point level down to the Kijun-sen trading around the 1888 area. And if we see the buyers come back into the market and then bullish activity above the Tenkan-sen, we could see the market testing up to the first pivot point resistance level at 1895. Any solid bearish activity down below the Kijun-sen could quickly see the market testing to the first pivot point support level at 1884.